What's good? It's your boy Curry Mac back with another video, and today we're going to be doing the NFC predictions, and I have my boys here.
Shane, Alec, what's up?
Yep. So you saw Shane in the last video. We did the AFC or NFC. I mean.
Fuck that. Alright, so we're gonna do the AFC. We're gonna start with the AFC North. I'll go ahead and kick it off. This is a tough division. This is a real tough division. I think it's wide open, honestly. A lot of people think the Bengals are out of it. I think it's really wide open for anybody. Honestly, I have the Steelers winning the division. I think they'll probably go somewhere like 10-6. They have a good offense. Everyone's talking about how they lost to Antonio Brown. I don't think it's that important. They got Juju still. And honestly, every year the Steelers have good wide receivers. If you think back, they got Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, AB, Juju, Santonio Holmes. They just produce good receivers no matter who's in that system.
I think Ben's what makes the receivers, I think Ben.
Yeah, Ben's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah,
2 Super Bowls, Hall of Fame quarterback. And James Conner proved last year that he's a good running back. Lev Bell. Everyone thought that Lev Bell was like a huge part of the offense. I think that when D'Angelo Williams played for him, he was one of the best running backs in the game.
They give it to Conner. Conner runs through a hole up the field. Nice run for James Conner. So we're seeing the Steelers are saying, we're going to pound the ball.
He killed it that year. Yeah.
So I think it's more of like a plug and play for running back. As long whoever's in there is going to produce.
But last year James got hurt. He missed 5 games, 4 or 5 games.
He missed a couple games. I'm not sure how many.
Because in the first half of the season, he was like ranked first in total yards, and then he kind of dropped off.
A bunch of touchdowns. They were like the 4th ranked offense, I think.
Yeah.
So I saw, and their defense got better. They drafted Devin Bush.
Devin Bush is going to be a monster.
They traded for Joe Hayden last year. I think it was last year.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
They're going to have a good defense. Steelers, they're, as much as I hate it, the Steelers are always going to be, they're going to be around as long as they have Mike Tomlin and Big Ben. Second in the division, I have the Browns, which a couple years ago, I would have been crazy for saying that, but they got Baker Mayfield, who's a franchise quarterback, I think.
I agree too.
They traded for OBJ. They got Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb in the backfield, Kareem Hunt when he comes back from suspension, David Njoku, decent offensive line. Their defense, they got Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. They're loaded. They're loaded from front to back, and then Freddie Kitchens, the head coach, who they fired Hugh Jackson last year.
I'm actually starting to like him.
I feel like that's a big question though.
I don't really think it's a question because I don't know what the record was over the last half of the season, but it was definitely way better than the first half of the season. I think that they have potential to win the division. I don't think they're going to do it this year. I think in the future of
I think they have potential for a 5 or 6 seed.
I think he seems like a player's coach.
Yeah, I think the Browns out of this division, they're definitely in
the playoff hunt.
Yeah, they're in the playoff hunt. They're definitely potential to be a wild card. The Ravens, I'm a Ravens fan. I try not to be biased. They have very good defense. Lamar Jackson's not a franchise quarterback, though.
They're predictable.
They're very predictable. They're going to run the ball at least 40 times a game, which is it can work in today's day and age, but you have to also be able to throw the ball. You can't just be one-dimensional. And I think the Chargers exposed them last year in the playoff game.
Yeah,
that was a really good game.
I feel like Mark Ingram was a really good pickup, though.
He was a good pickup. Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, Justice Hill, the rookie we drafted this year.
Still the Collins dude, right?
No, we cut Alex Collins.
Oh, you cut Alex
Collins. Kenneth Dixon, Justice Hill, Mark Ingram, and Gus Edwards. We have 4 really good running backs. Lamar's gonna, as long as Lamar can throw, if Lamar can learn how to throw, which he's been playing quarterback for years, he hasn't learned it yet. We'll be all right. But
that's the thing. I feel like Ravens, if they pass it 18 to 21 times and Lamar can make 12 of those throws.
Boy, if you don't...
12 of them.
So you think 12 completions a game
12,
will be all right?
12 out of 18 or 12 out of 21?
You think they will win games with 12 completions?
If they make 12 to 14 12 to 14 completions in that division with that run-heavy offense, and Mark Ingram
If you guys
runs
if
it
they
well.
can run the ball, maybe. Maybe.
If that's the big if they can run the ball well, I think they have a very good chance of winning that division too.
It's a passing league, though.
This division is wide open.
Yep.
The interesting thing is teams are building to stop the pass. So what it is you have faster cornerbacks. I think I talked
Faster
about this
linebackers.
in the last video. Faster cornerbacks, smaller, faster cornerbacks, smaller, faster linebackers, pass rush, interior linemen, and Aaron Donald, and edge rushers.
See, this division is different.
You're going to be able to run on teams like that are built to stop the pass. And
How many
It's
teams are built?
going to break down the defense a lot.
How many
Tire
teams
them
in
out.
this division are 3-4?
I think all of them.
Except the Bengals. Bengals aren't 3-4.
Or Bengals.
4-4?
Bengals
Yeah,
are
I'm not
4-3.
sure. Yeah.
4-3.
Bengals are 4-3. Bengals are the only faster linebackers, and they got rid of
And the Bengals,
or they got rid of Vontaze Burfict.
if you think about the Bengals, they're super talented. What was holding them back all these years? Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis is gone. Now they got Zach Taylor, the quarterback coach from the Rams. So he knows the Sean McVay offense, and we all know how successful that's been. I think that's super talented offense. AJ Green's hurt now, so
6 to 8 weeks.
that throws them off a little bit. They still got Tyler Boyd, Tyler Eifert, Joe Mixon in the backfield. I think he's an elite running back.
Do they still Bernard?
Giovanni
still
Bernard's
have
still
Bernard,
there.
yeah.
Andy Dalton is a serviceable quarterback. He's not going to be
He's
an
terrible.
MVP
This
type.
could be-
I think he's terrible.
Who do you think's better, Andy Dalton or Jared Goff? Do you remember Jared Goff's season with Jeff Fisher? He looked terrible, and that was coaching.
Jared Goff's been in the league. This is his third year.
This will be his third year.
Yeah.
How long has Andy Dalton been?
Andy Dalton's always had Marvin Lewis as his head coach.
Okay,
Look how
Fair
bad Jared Goff was with Jeff Fisher. He looked terrible.
true enough.
Sean McVay comes in an offensive-minded quarterback coach, same as Zach Taylor, and he flourished in that offense. I think that Andy Dalton would be a serviceable system quarterback. I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers or someone that can make every throw, but I think with a good offensive fit, he'll be good. He'll produce in that offense.
So I think Andy Dalton, if they don't go to the playoffs this year or he doesn't have a good year, they're getting rid of Andy Dalton.
Yep.
It's already
They
called.
should be
It's already
drafting
called for.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Remember a couple years ago they traded a third-round pick, I think, for AJ McCarron.
Yeah.
You remember that?
He was terrible too.
Yeah, AJ McCarron.
I think that was okay. That goes back to the system. Maybe the system they have Marvin Lewis. So I have the Steelers going 11-5.
11-5.
11-5.
It's a little biased, don't you think?
A little biased. I'm a Steelers fan, of course. And then I have the Browns going second, maybe a 5 or 6 seed. That's also what I
So
have.
you have them getting a wild card?
I have them possibly getting a wild card.
So far we agree. Do you have any disagreements here? Curry Mack?
No, just keep going. I'll have my input here in a second.
Okay.
I have the Ravens, but I'm also biased. I hate the Ravens. But I do think they could also possibly get that wild card spot with the Browns.
He's a hater.
Bengals, I have them at the bottom of the division, no matter what. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I think James Washington's gonna have a huge year. Maybe that's just because of his first preseason game. He went the fuck off.
Vance McDonald is not in uniform center, or he is, he won't play. They're going to get a lot of look from second-year guys. Here's Dobbs, has a man, and it's James Washington.
I don't know if there's Christian here, Chris, but you can blur that out if there's not.
Okay, so you think James Washington will be the starting number 2 besides Juju and not Dante Moncrief? Do you think it's going to be James Washington or Dante
I
Moncrief?
think
You
James
guys are
Washington.
both Steelers fans.
I think James Washington's going to be a large slot receiver.
Yeah,
So he'll be-
the first preseason game, after his preseason game, they compared him to Anquan.
Well, how do you think that's going to work? Because Juju was the slot last year, AB was the number 1, the true 1.
And
So
they
you
started
think
moving-
they're going to have Juju at
They're gonna-
1 and James at 2?
They
I think
started
they're
moving him out.
I think they're going to move him around. I think they're going to move all of them around. Because James Washington, he played the outside, and he broke that corner.
James Washington's really talented. Yeah.
5'11",
that was a
214.
difficult catch.
I like
too,
James
so-
Washington a lot. I wish the Ravens had drafted him.
We don't have Eli Rogers anymore, do we?
No, I don't think you do.
I don't think we
Pretty
do.
sure he's gone.
I liked him
We have
2 years ago.
We have those 3,
He
and
was
who's
nice.
our fourth?
You drafted Deontay Johnson, I think is his name, or Deontay Thompson. He's a receiver. He's a rookie receiver this year.
Okay.
But rookie receivers in that offense, it's hard to learn. It's hard to learn that offense in 1 year as a receiver, all the routes and everything like that.
Our offense is
Super
very-
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, plus
Super
Ben,
hard.
plus Ben with the pocket, he can move out.
Yeah, the way he extends plays and the way he
Yeah.
expects his receivers to branch off and
See,
keep
that's-
plays a lot.
What you want, shorty, what you need. My niggas run the game, we ain't never leave. Counting sleep. You got V12, I got 12V. Got bottles, got weed.
That's huge for a first-year receiver. It's going to take a lot of time.
So I'm really kind of annoyed. Maybe it's just I'm a Steelers fan. I don't know about you, Chris, but I'm really annoyed with the Browns fans thinking they're automatically going to win that division. How do you feel about that?
No, I just feel. When was the last time they even been to the playoffs? It's been over 10 years.
Made
So.
the playoffs, then we can talk.
Yeah, but I think they're just excited to have a good team for
They're
the first
excited.
time.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
excited.
So
They
I
have a
would
lot of
feel the same
potential.
way. I think.
Yeah,
They definitely have potential.
And Browns fans are really, Cleveland fans in general are super strong
They're
sports
loyal.
fans.
Yeah,
They're very loyal.
I think they're the most loyal fans in
Yeah,
sports.
I think so too. But did you go? You talked about the Bengals. You talked about our
Yep,
team.
Alex Dunn, what do you think, Curry Mack?
All right, Curry Mack thinks Steelers gonna go.
Talking in third person now, okay.
So Pittsburgh's gonna go.
Oh,
think-
I'm sorry, Chris. I have Steelers at 3 or 4 seed.
Wait, what?
I have Steelers at 3 or 4 seed.
Okay,
Playoffs.
okay.
Alright.
Getting super specific.
All right, so I think it's gonna come down to the Ravens and Steelers again this year.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be. They're each gonna get around 9 or 10 wins, somewhere around there. So yeah, I'm a Steelers fan. He's a Steelers fan. He's a Ravens fan. So we've grown up just competing, arguing, whatever it was. You know what I mean? Because they won a Super Bowl in what 2012, and our last one was what 20.
Just to throw this in there, did you ever see that chart of the past like 15 years of the quarterbacks who have been to the Super Bowl? It was Tom Brady, Peyton
Joe
Manning,
Flacco.
and Joe Flacco.
And
Big
Ben.
Ben. Those are the 4 quarterbacks in like the past 15
Yeah, that's
years.
kind of sad. To be
That's
honest.
insane.
No, that's
It's dominance.
yeah.
But yeah, so I got them two fighting it out to the end. I got Browns third. I think they're gonna have a great year, but it's gonna take some time for them to all connect and grow as a team.
Do you think,
So-
okay, on paper, who do you think the most talented team is?
Well, the Browns for
The
sure.
Browns, right?
Yeah.
Their
But they have
team-
too much ego.
That's what everyone's talking about on paper. On paper.
But if you can find a good coach in Freddie Kitchens, who I think is a good coach.
I think he's a good coach.
How do you guys know though? He's never been hired as a even
He took
even
it-
as an assistant or as a
he was an offensive coordinator last year.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, it was. They fired Greg Todd Haley.
No, he's never been
And-
hired as a coordinator.
He was offensive coordinator last year
No,
when
he was
Todd
not.
Haley was fired.
Nope.
Todd Haley and
When
Hugh
he was
Jackson
fired.
were fired. Freddie Kitchens stepped up as offensive coordinator,
So an
and Greg
intermittent.
Roman. Okay, yeah, intermittent. He was like temporarily, and then he won So he was offensive coordinator though, and then
Okay.
after the season he was
Fair enough.
hired as the head coach. But their offense was dynamite, even without OBJ and I get just OBJ is really the biggest addition. Kareem Hunt though.
Kareem Hunt.
But he
week
comes back
10.
in week
Yeah.
I think
Which-
Nick Chubb's gonna be.
That's
They
not-
just traded
I mean,
Duke Johnson away, so Nick Chubb's gonna eat this
I
year.
think Nick
man.
Chubb's gonna have a
Can you
great
imagine Chubb?
Here, seems to me like he should have been working with the quarterbacks all along here. On second down, it's Chubb. Nick Chubb across the 40. One man to beat. Still going. Chubb will take this all the way. 92 yards.
And when Kareem Hunt comes back, oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that's actually okay.
But no, I'm still going. So I think the Steelers defense is gonna turn around this year.
I agree.
Devin Bush, he reminds me a lot of Shazier, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think he's gonna be a better tackler, better at tackling. Because if you notice Shazier, he always over pursues so much. And I just watched this last preseason game, and Devin Bush,
He's a monster.
the way he reads the holes, I was pretty impressed.
10 tackles his first
tackles
game.
in one half, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah, it was one half.
One half,
Okay.
yeah. So
It was like 2.5 quarters.
I'm excited for our defense. Our secondary is still going to be questionable.
Questionable.
It's always
Okay.
it's
You got Joe Hayden, you got Jermaine Edmonds.
Our
right?
safeties.
Yeah,
Artie
Terrell.
Burns is questionable.
Yeah,
I'm not a
Artie
big
Burns,
I'm
I
not a
don't
big
know.
fan of Artie Burns.
I'm not a fan.
I was kind of excited his rookie year, but then he dropped off last year.
Our defense doesn't draft well. Our receivers are just 10 out of 10.
But the Ravens defense is crazy. I remember watching. Was it last year or the year before when they got Marlon Humphreys? He was-
This will be his third year.
Was that 2 years ago? I watched
2
a
years ago,
preseason
rookie
game, and this dude was.
I think he's a Pro Bowl
How do you-
talent.
We just see just a post move here, trying to grab the safety with the inside route and go one-on-one, and they got what they wanted. Just a good play on the defensive side. And we said this Ravens defense was so good, but the one thing they hadn't done all year was take the ball away. Well, tonight, we
He's a
How
Pro
do
Bowl
you
talent.
think they're going to be without C.J. Mosley?
I think that the Ravens produce linebackers. That's what they do. All throughout the Ravens franchise,
C.J.
they
Mosley,
produce linebackers.
He's
Kenny Young, did
He
you see that
can't-
play Kenny Young made against the Jaguars? Where
He has
sacked
no
the
pass
quarterback
defense.
and knocked his helmet off?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
CJ Mosley covers grass, pretty much.
CJ Mosley, that was his only weakness. He was
Yeah.
great against the run. His pass coverage was a little bit questionable.
And now
we
in the
saw that a little
league,
bit last year.
now in the league, what is it now? It's
Yeah, you need linebackers that can cover receivers,
right, exactly.
which is huge. And I think we have Kenny Young and Patrick Onswar, Peanut. They call him Peanut. He's a beast.
Peanut the beast.
I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Our defense is fine. We got a great secondary, great linebackers, great line. Our defense is not in question. I think it's just our offense and Lamar Jackson.
And I have Big Ben. I think he's gonna have like an MVP season. I know that might sound crazy,
I think
but
last year, did he throw for 5,000 yards last
Yeah.
year?
he had.
He threw for 5,000
So check this out.
last
He
year.
had
I
what,
think it's his
16
third.
interceptions.
I think it's his third consecutive year throwing for 5,000.
That's insane.
He had 16 interceptions or 15. 9 or 10 of them were to AB. Was it 14?
Yeah.
Check that out.
I think it was 2016.
Because I think AB was hurting the team. I really do.
Oh yeah,
No.
I think
He was
that's-
hurting him so. I would have rather kept Le'Veon
I
than
don't see how you
AB.
guys can say that. AB is
No, I would
the most skillful receiver.
He
in the
is.
league.
But for our team, I think for the way, because Ben's not a good leader.
I can see what
See,
you're
I think we
saying.
can do
What? You don't think Ben's a good leader? I think
I
Ben's
mean,
a
that's-
great
I
leader.
think I think it was just AB, honestly.
Yeah, I
AB's
mean,
just a diva, and you've seen that this year.
but you can already see he's talking about retiring because of his helmet.
That's
and
what I
shit.
mean. He's
like,
a diva. He's a diva.
So, all right. So yeah, I was talking about the Ravens, and I think John Harbaugh is a great coach. I have for the past couple years, and I heard some rumors that if they don't go above 500, they might try and get rid of him this year.
They were really close to firing him last year.
Yeah,
Lamar
and last
came
year.
in and saved him.
Yeah. But I think this year's still going to be tough for John Harbaugh. So that's also why I think this is going to be a hard year for this division. And the way the Browns are looking, like this could be a toss-up. And the Bengals too. The Bengals, they with their new coach, was it Zach Taylor?
Zach Taylor.
I heard some pretty good things about him. I honestly don't know too much, but he's pretty young. Isn't he like the youngest coach right now?
I'm not sure. I know Sean McVay is like 34, 35, and that's who he's coming from, Sean McVay.
Yeah.
And he's a quarterback coach, which should help Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
So and
I'd love to see this division get better.
yeah, I mean it'd be more interesting for sure.
I
And
think this will be a really competitive division.
yeah, this is gonna be great. And the thing with Andy Dalton, this could be his last year. If he doesn't produce and make it to the playoffs, it might be done for him too.
If they go as low as people are projecting them, they could either draft Tua Tagovailoa, whatever his name is, from Alabama, Trevor Lawrence from Clemson.
No,
There's a lot of
he's the year after.
No, he can leave this year. He'll be a sophomore this year. He'll be able to leave.
Don't you wait till after junior year?
He just has to play 2 years in college. That's it.
Okay. Even if you're a redshirt?
He played last year.
All
Sure
right.
enough.
So I mean, the Bengals. This is do or die for Andy Dalton. If he doesn't prove that he can do it, I think Zach Taylor's going to look for a replacement.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think after this year, there could be a lot of quarterbacks on the market, like because if the Raiders don't do good, maybe Derek Carr could be leaving. There's gonna be
Turn
some.
that shit off.
I'm looking at the
Turn
rules.
that off. The thing that's making that loud.
So yeah. Then I have the Browns. I could see them going maybe right around 500, 8-8, 9-7, or they could go like 13-3. It's such a toss-up.
Well, that's a
See, it says
bailout.
right here.
That's a bailout. You can't take 8-8 or 13-3.
No, here-
Either way, you're right.
To be eligible for the draft, players must have been out of high school for at least 3 years. So he had to have been at least a redshirt his freshman year.
No, you can play just 2 years.
It says right here.
Manziel did that. Manziel played. He was a redshirt
for at
freshman.
least 3 years and have used up their college.
Hey, comment down below what you think.
Yeah, no, he's wrong. You just have to play his freshman and sophomore year. If you play 2 years in college, you can play in the NFL.
I thought it was 2 years as well.
Yeah.
But comment down below what you think.
Comment down below.
Comment down below. So that's it. So we got like mine's Browns, Steelers.
Wait, what? Browns, Steelers?
I mean, Ravens, Steelers, right there at the top. Then Browns, Bengals. So I'm gonna be slightly biased and pick my own team to win. So
I have
Well,
Steelers
that's
at number one.
That's
as well.
never good. That shouldn't be biased.
just a little bit.